I am an Earthican. Mandatory carry does not belong to a particular nation. It belongs to everyone equally. I will live to see that mandatory becomes enshrined in U.S. law, or not just in U.S. law, but in the laws of every nation and hard written into the United Nations Charter. Yes. Make no mistake, I openly oppose the United Nations POA, Plan of Action, or some shit like that. It's their gun control plan. And every nation's gun control laws. No exceptions. Not even U.S. gun control laws. Or should I say, including U.S. gun control laws. I make no differentiation by nation. No matter how hard you try to work the math, you cannot make 2 plus x to the power of y equal 4 unless x is 0. In this case, 0 equals mandatory carry. Every nation that has attempted gun control has suffered mass shootings. And yes, that includes Japan and Britain. As a matter of fact, I started filming this after having just watched a very illuminating video about what 𝘰𝘋+𝘣 really does and what they're still doing. It's not frightening so much that they are as ridiculously violent as they really are. It's frightening that they can do it so easily. If they knew half of what I knew, Japan would be the mass shooting capital of the world. I guess it's just a lucky thing they don't know what I know. For right now, Japan has fewer mass shootings, and since they are almost always, not absolutely always, but almost always, criminal on criminal acts, the Japanese government can sweep it under the rug as part of the drug criminal world, and thus it's not really a mass shooting. 𝘮𝘋+𝘣, writing for Forbes magazine, my apologies, I screwed the name up. Writing for Forbes magazine, penned, "The 10 dumbest things I heard about gun control at the United Nations." We boiled it down to his 2 most absolutely unimpeachable points. Number 4. Mexico's proposal to regulate the end user. What they want to do is regulate who can have guns, okay, across international borders. Now, this is about striking back against the U.S. because supposedly 70% of their illicit gun trade comes from the U.S. No, it doesn't. But that's what people try to say to create trouble. What actually has happened, Mexican law enforcement authorities, they've had a shooting, they've got the gun, they look at it and they say, this type of gun is commonly sold in the United States and it's got some markings on it that look like they're American. So let's send this gun to the FBI and see what they say. Meanwhile, they've got 5 more over here. 2 of them have Portuguese marks, which means they probably came from Brazil. One of them has no marks at all, so God knows where it came from, but it was clearly made in somebody's basement or garage. And, one's actually registered to the Mexican Army. Wonder how that one got there. And the last one, God knows where it came from because it looks like it's Chinese, but how did it get here from China? Well, it was smuggled. And then they have the one gun they think was American. 70% of the time, they're right. The other 5 guns, they don't send to the United States for anything because the U.S. wouldn't know anything about it. That is what they're trying. This one gun that maybe did come from the U.S., that's what they're trying to stop by disarming the United States, by forcing the U.S. to take on mass gun control. By the way, it's not working in Mexico either. The gun with the Portuguese markings, the gun with no markings at all, that was made in somebody's basement, the AK that got smuggled in from China through Vietnam or Guam or Cuba or God knows where else it may have come from. They're not going to try to control those, really. They're just going to try to control the American gun. Number 10, promoting gun control. Now, he actually wrote, well, you knew this would come up, well, you knew it would come to this. In theory, the POA is tightly limited to international illicit trade. But the people who back it make no secret of their support for gun control. In point of fact, they had a visit from 𝘯𝘢𝘵, which is a subsidiary of Moms Demand, which is a subsidiary of Everytown for Gun Control. That's not mentioned in the story, though. Yeah, they're trying to turn POA into a universal gun ban. All right. I've gone over this a million times, and I will go over it a million more. Banning guns doesn't work. All right. You can make these ugly ass, nasty looking Mac 10 clones in a jungle in Brazil. What, you think I thought of that Portuguese thing just because I'm brilliant? No, because I read the article. I've read a redacted FBI report on one of them. It was smooth bore. That's easy to fix. It was automatic only. Well, you know what? If you're a criminal, you'd perfectly happy with an automatic only submachine pistol with no stock, by the way. So that was not really brilliant, but okay. These were being made in a jungle in Brazil. Yeah, that works. Another part of it, and I didn't actually save it for this article, the POA backers want to ban ammo. And in theory, or register them or something. And in theory, that's great. Except that the British tried that as well in Palestine. You know what happened? The Haganahs, which was the Jewish anti-colonial militia, line between terrorists and freedom fighters, sometimes is really, really fine. They built their own arms factory. Now, I'm not making this shit up. I wish I were. They built their own ammo factory underneath a laundromat. And joke of the universe, irony, whatever you want to call it, this laundromat had a contract to wash British Army uniforms. Yeah. Topside, they're washing British Army uniforms. Down below, they're making the bullets to turn those uniforms red. But hey, let's ban ammo. Because that makes so much sense. Gun control just doesn't work. From Brazil to Israel to interwar Germany, where somehow Britain and France and Russia did not seem to notice that Germany was building new factories to start manufacturing literally millions of 𝘰𝘰𝘯. Like, how do you not notice this? Actually, there's one person I'm sure would know. I would even ask her if I could. It doesn't work. Stop trying. Okay. So I've described myself as kind of agnostic. I don't know what I believe exactly beyond Romans 3:12. One thing I do know, it's about 6,000 years ago, I think. There was this very, very wise man. His name was 𝘮. He was so frustrated with the stupidity of the world, and what he was frustrated with was the stupidity of his boss. Got on his donkey, he's headed out of town. Screw these people, let it burn. Gee, I wonder who's ever said that. This guy. All right. At the edge of the town, somebody stops and says, wait, please stop. Don't run off. At least tell us what you know or what you think, because we know you're smarter than our, not 𝘰𝘯𝘳, because this is in China. The equivalent of a county lord. So if you know the word I'm looking for, please leave it in the comments. Might even give you something for it. All right. So they're stopping him. Please, don't run away. At least tell us, because we know that guy's an idiot. All right. But please, before you leave, tell us what you know. So he sits down in a monastery or a coffee shop or wherever the hell it was, and he just sits there and he lectures. He does this for about 12 hours a day for, I forgot how long. It was a few years, though. He just sits there and lectures, and the people that wanted to hear what he had to say would write down everything that they could, because sometimes when you're just ranting, people can't keep up with you. Finally, he's done. He's said his last word. He got onto the donkey and he left town. Nobody saw him ever again. Now, he never meant for his lectures to turn into a religion. And it technically really isn't a religion. But I have a lot of respect for Taoists. You can't make the damn river flow uphill. Gun control experts, which is really about controlling blacks, do not respect Taoists. I don't even care if they say they are. They're clearly not. You can't make a river flow uphill, right? Ban all the guns. Criminals will just make more. Dry up the pool, they get a hose and fill it up again. And oh, by the way, nobody else now can get to the pool. Get it now? Special thanks to Alan. And until next time, keep calm and mandatory carry on.